I want to be here, and this is who I am. If you have any faith in me at all, keep me. If you don't, you don't. And we all know no one's going to, so. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to ask you. I was going to say, how do you see things shaking down moving forward, but there's not a guarantee that I leave, so I'm not going to make you say that. I'm not going to ask you to be in that situation, but I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I seriously don't think anyone's going to even speak to me. I think Jen will, because what does she care? But what do I want to talk to Jen about? I think Kale will, because what does she care? She knows how it feels. She's a sympathetic woman. And that's about that. I would think I at least deserve the opportunity to say some of what I just said to you. And I don't know. I haven't felt compelled to defend myself to any of this because it doesn't matter. As your dad has said all along, and he's completely correct, perception is reality. It doesn't matter what I did, and it doesn't matter what Nick did, and it doesn't matter what anyone else did. If it's being perceived as you did it, you did it, There's no point. I mean, I could sit here for the rest of my time here with every single one in the house and let you all fire questions at me. And I'm telling you, I will have an answer for each and every one of them. I would have an explanation. I would have a reason. I would be forthcoming with information. What's it going to do? It's not going to change the way anyone's looking at it anyway. Once you've got your mind locked in on something, it is what it is. And if everyone thinks I have to go, I have to go. But they don't need to think that someone who has been fun and has been personable and has been trying more than anyone to get to know everyone and build genuine relationships, that doesn't need to be torn down with it. I mean, and it makes me think that I'm a big dickhead because, yes, I resented the fact that Carol came in here and said basically she didn't want to be here. But did she ever do anything to warrant me making fun of her every day since she's left? No. And I guess I get to see it from the other seat now, and I'm going to get to sit and watch it for the next 2 months. And the actual truth is I really don't think I'll even be able to watch the feeds. I'll watch the episodes, but how can I sit there and watch the feeds? It's just rough. Not to mention, not that you care, not that this is your problem, and not that this wasn't a willing choice I made, but I quit my job to be here. Very well may not have an apartment because it was on a month-to-month rental when I left, and was in a 4-year, couldn't be more confusing relationship that had so many great things and so many difficult things, and not being able to speak for 7 weeks, and being close with females in the house, we all know it's not going to be easy. So it's not even like I can, at least when Kayla said it, we were like, well, in the worst case scenario, I go back to my family and be done with it. Worst case scenario, I go back to being unemployed, not having an apartment, and possibly not a relationship. So.
Well, I don't have a home to go to either, so I know how you feel on a lot of that.
It's sad for me. And you know what? I don't believe I've ever disputed this. I'm sure that I said things I shouldn't have said or didn't mean when I said them in the house. I'm sure, just like everybody else did. I thought, though, that people understood that, my favorite expression, at the end of the day, I was who I was regardless of this. Nobody's perfect. I know I had my moments in this house, and from a game standpoint and a personal standpoint.
Amber,
but I still thought
reattach your microphone.
I still thought that the 98% good and good times and genuine conversations and heartfelt remarks that I was really saying as me, I thought that that's what people would take away. I mean, I've had moments with everyone in this house, but that doesn't mean that the second they happen, I vilify them forever. It's like they are who they are. And I thought that I was a decent enough guy that I would always be looked at in that way, that I am who I am, and, whatever happens here, like, people know that to the core, I'm a good person, and the moments we were sharing together were real. And now I honestly feel like people are looking at me like not a word that I said and not a moment we shared had meant anything. And obviously I don't really care if some people feel that way. And I probably won't have great relationships with them outside of here, but there are obviously a small, select group of people that really does mean a lot to me. And I mean, somehow in the next 24 hours, I really want to reconcile this fact, because I don't want to sit here for the next 2 months until I get the chance to speak to you guys again and feel like, someone like Jessica is sitting there thinking that if we had a moment at 6 a.m. talking about our pets and talking about, and I know that you felt this way with Nick also, talking about our brothers, or talking about our hometowns, or joking with each other. I mean, this girl's going to be sitting there thinking now, like, this is all part of my master plan of whatever, that not a word I uttered here was true, meaningful, from a genuine place. And the truth of the matter is that absolutely every conversation was, with her and with other people as well. And that's what's eating away at me. I lost the game. But I don't need to lose everyone else's faith in me as a human being in addition to losing the game. Losing the game's enough, I mean, don't you honestly feel like that's where I'm at right now? I mean, I think I'm past the point of no return. I don't even know that anyone even cares to, hear what I have to say on anything.
I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, and I can't, go down there and miraculously, make everybody do something, but...
Nor do I.
But I'm telling you right now that you have my word that... I even said yesterday, I said, whatever happens, happens, and it's the same thing with Nick. Even if you know what's going to happen, make the best of the last time, because it's the only time that anybody has, whether it's you or Kale, and make the best of it.
Right.
And I will reiterate and repeat that nonstop until tomorrow at the live show.
I appreciate that. It is a very, and everyone's going to be there at some point, it is a very weird feeling to walk around with a group of people that you have no problem with, and they all have a problem with you, and walk around your own home, and you can't even be looked at by anyone.
I know how you feel too, Eric, because I've felt like that almost all week this week. I really, really, really have.
Why do you feel that way?
Because after bringing up stuff and, people saying...
What he was up to, he was a threat. That was one hell of a week. He's got to go. But I had amazing times with him, and I